What's up? Welcome back to a brand new video, and today we're doing a part 2 on Vincent Skullman. Now, if you don't know why this part 2 is existing in the first place, then go watch part 1. 28 fucking minutes. Or I can just give you a recap. So, how this entire drama happened in the first place. It happened exactly like this. And I'm not kidding you either. Alright, listen, I know it's laughable, and I'm surprised none of them flooded my Twitter too. But pretty much, I made a few videos that got people so angry, to a point where people are still crying about it 3 months later, and it's getting on my nerves. I mean, this did mainly stem from Harley, Jalen, and Miss ZZ being whiny hoes. Now, I already know that some people are going to get mad at the first part of my response. Honestly, it's whatever. These people aren't satisfied no matter how many times you try to make them satisfied. Whatever you do will never meet the expectations of what they want, so there's no point in apologizing. And really, at this point, there's nothing to apologize for. But I've jibber-jabbered long enough. Let's get into the second part of this response.
This is no doubt creating a picture of Moomin for those that are uninitiated.
And by that you mean basing bold claims off of useless screenshots.
Oh, how wrong you were, Moomin. How wrong you were, Moomin. How wrong you were, Moomin.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
Can you see and hear how delusional he looks right now? Like, I'm serious. If you go back and look at his entire video and watch it, you can clearly see that this contradicts his first video as a whole. Now it's clear and obvious that he isn't even good at commentary at all. He doesn't even look back at his own videos and self-reflect. It's to a point where he's acting like he's giving criticism, but it's clear that it's not his real motive. He's obviously just butthurt and only cares about slurs, offensive shit. He's not even going to bring up an actual real point until you force him to. He goes on saying stuff like, watch the video and embrace your mistakes. You just want to throw yourself into a pity party. Finally, you've come to the point where you'll acknowledge where I point out your wrongs, when that's clearly not the case. Instead, he wants to lie about me for clout and views, literally say that all I had to do was take slander on the chin. Do you not see what he's trying to do here? He wants to force me into submission. He's saying that he's giving criticism when he's not giving criticism. Instead, it's just, oh, I'm in the wrong, I'm a liar, I'm a slanderer, I did all this fucking stuff. Like, he even claims that I slandered people like Peaches. Like, I swear, you have no ground to stand on. Listen, it's not that hard to reach out to somebody about something. Jesus.
If that is the case, why didn't you reach out to me then? When I made my video, I had no way of getting into contact with you, and even then, I felt it would be a pointless endeavour because of your petty squabbling in the past with those like Rololin or Communist Creep.
Yeah, my house was grounded.
You're literally throwing up worthless comments at this point because I would have still made the video no matter your response.
Then what would be the point of talking to you? You literally invalidated your own art. How the fuck do you do that?
Stupid!
Yeah, okay. Apparently this is what constructive criticism looks like. Oh boy. So, did I prove my point that he's not really good at commentary at all?
This isn't just reserved for the majority though, since Moomin would go out of their way to single out big creators and attack them as well, with Holly TVS being the most recurring example behind those such as Communist Creeper. You're probably asking, well, if it's just a call-out video, why are you putting it in this section? And my answer is to simply look at the titles used for one of the videos. The terms twink and femboy are used in an attempt to downplay Harley's identity, since these words were clearly used in a derogatory way to insult them straight off the bat.
No, I just did it because Harley was really easy to fuck with, and I'm not wrong. Harley's response to all the criticism and stuff that I called him out for was to reply with like one of my trans content creators thumbnails like it meant something.
Well, that just confirmed it was done in a derogatory way, with this whole to fuck with him point being null because Moomin had to say such language to begin with in order to do so.
So me doing it a way to mess with Harley and fuck with him is me doing it purely out of hate and discriminating against him. Nice interpretation. And not to burst your bubble, but do you even know what the word discrimination means? Because it's clear and obvious that you don't. Do I seriously have to rant another 3 minutes about how he's this dumb and this retarded? Because I already stopped wanting to do that after my first video. It has not gotten me anywhere, and it only feels like I'm screaming into the void. Jesus Christ, please lift my soul. And it's the fact that he has the balls to call me brain dead when this is how he acts for a 15-year-old.
It's like me going, yeah, I shot all those kids, but it was to fuck with a parent.
There is literally no correlation to be held here. You know, I'm not literally hanging somebody by a rope just because I called them a stinky Twinkie.
You can clearly see that a bad thing needed to be done in the first place to achieve such an outcome. Otherwise, the highly TBS point just seems like Moomin foaming at the mouth because he didn't get a full video response and just a tweet poking fun at him instead, because a majority of the things which were spoken about just aren't true and can be attested to by others. Maybe if you made valid content, then you'd get the recognition deserved instead of the cesspit you're playing.
And maybe if you focused on actually having a good job and getting some fucking money instead of crying about a 15-year-old doing edgy stuff, you wouldn't be in this position. Once again, you didn't watch the videos. You know, to every other commentator out there, this is why people hate art commentary channels. How is calling somebody retarded proof that I have bigoted beliefs, let alone why is it a problem?
Once again, I couldn't watch the videos because some dipshit made them private, so they couldn't be watched as stated at many points in my original video.
Or you could have just waited patiently for me to come back to YouTube, like I literally told you that I was gonna come back from my hiatus. And it turns out he actually put this in the beginning of his videos, so he's basically just making a useless argument.
Wonder who did such a thing. And in case you're intentionally leaving the part out of my video where I mentioned that the term retard is rather up there, as people are for it being offensive while others are not. You have it coincidentally being cut as just before I had time to explain, so.
Yeah, and your explanation was useless. I swear, you guys don't know how tiring this is. Retarded has a changed meaning. It is not a slur anymore, it is literally just a word to call someone stupid. And you pointing out that some people will get offended while others will not is just not proving anything.
People are certainly on the fence about the word due to it originally being a common word that was slowly morphed from a unique insult into a way of calling people mentally challenged. But in this case, it's just used willy-nilly as a verbal attack to those Moomin disagreed with, and ultimately makes them look childish since it is used so often, leaving it as only a cheap gimmick that loses all humour quickly.
Even with the explanation being shown in the first place, it still does not matter. You do not hold any point against me, and you are literally just wasting your time. I want to skip some parts of this video so badly. Do I seriously have to debunk literally everything this man says in his video? And I'm talking whether it pertains to me as the main subject or not.
My issues with you using it comes down mostly to the frequency of which you were using it in the first place.
Boo-hoo, I don't care. He also talks about, in this next section, how I deflect responsibility. Yeah, okay. He also talks about me being unoriginal, which is just fucking hypocritical, so I won't be touching up on that section.
Well, I'm not wrong. Maybe that's why you changed your about section to no longer hold the disclaimer anymore, which means people now have the right to believe all the things I called you out for.
This does not mean anything. I literally changed my description because I was on break and letting people know, hey, I'm on break. This doesn't mean that anything you said was proven. You still do not have a point.
Also, why is it hypocritical of me to call you out on such things? Turns out it's because I'm an art commentary channel. Shit, I didn't realise more than one person could occupy a genre of content on YouTube.
This is exactly how you missed my point. The point was not because you are an art commentator, and I even specify in the exact same comment as you are missing my point. It's not because you are an art commentator, it's because you're just like every single other art commentator, which is being annoying and lame, always being a sensitive crybaby.
Kumu, leave me the fuck alone. For the past few months, you have been nonstop keeping up with everything that I've been doing online and finding some way to either start shit with me, spread misinformation about me, or attempt to ruin my platform because reasons, I guess. I'm gonna keep this video as short as possible because this nigga really does not need the views, but this is really beginning to go into unacceptable territory.
It makes every single Twitter spat into its own little video with no purpose at all. I swear, you people are literally insane. And to top it all off, you people are just fucking boring. Bro, I think Kai Wise was the only entertaining art commentary channel.
So I guess all of us besides like 20 people better start wrapping it up because we aren't allowed to do that anymore according to Moomin. If I'm boring, then explain how I garnered a larger subscriber count than you.
It's because you got promotion from the Senate and from people who hate me. Sub count seriously does not matter. I don't understand why this is an argument. You can have a low sub count and still make entertaining content.
Better yet, how my videos have gotten higher view counts than yours with your reliance on making highly hit pieces really coming through now.
Your views don't matter either. They're still boring.
Just grow up and accept the fact that you're recycling topics and words that have been in the mouths of others before they even got closer to you.
And you have done the same thing. You are no fucking different. This sums up the entirety of this section, which is Skullman making a bunch of retarded assumptions about my intentions for literally no reason, and him just lying out of his fucking teeth. So let's move on to the raid like I promised.
Did the words overhanging issues just evaporate when Moomin started playing the video again?
Yes. I watched the video in full and you did nothing but assume my intentions. I swear, blowing through this video is just so easy, it's not even fun or entertaining. Like, what else do you want me to do? Do you want me to laugh? Do you want me to cackle? Do you want me to smile? I've watched both of these videos in full and even double checked to make sure my points line up with what I'm saying, and they're not entertaining or funny.
This was me being wary of him potentially coming back to cause more issues than were originally presented, and it seems like I was correct to have questioned if he'd be gone for long. I'm clearly speculating as to what was to come next, as stated by my wording when discussing his leave from the platform, and I never pushed it as fact. If the whole section was played, then anyone would be able to gather such, but you took this as me saying something or another would definitely happen. Hell, to some degree I was right, since not all of the videos were made public again, which I'll show now, which may have been done as his chance to hide worse takes that aren't going to see the light of day again.
Bro, shut the fuck up. You don't even know what those videos were about. And you were not speculating what I was going to do when I came back.
I have said, you probably wonder as to why this is even a problem if all the community posts are gone along with the videos too, which I raise you this. They may not be gone, just private for now until they can be reintroduced, or so that Moomin can start over with a clean slate, but retain the success they managed to gather up until now. They never mentioned that they were thinking of quitting, and this could likely be an attempt to discard any negative connotations to do something else entirely, which is both scummy and disingenuous. There was no apology to those which were slandered, the continuous use of terms which were used in vain for comedy, or even a public announcement denouncing some of the videos which were done in bad taste. If they do intend on just cleansing their palate in order to come back like they've always been a holy child, then it is some sneaky shit I will certainly call them out on, because they don't get to make all of this then pretend like it never happened. Well, the other option is plausible that Moomin might never return and just scrub the channel clean because they had become ashamed with the content or dissatisfied with how it had come to be perceived, which would be on them entirely still. No matter how you slice it, there is blame to be held, and yet they fled like a coward because they don't have the guts to own up to their own mistakes or take the same lashing that they gave out to other people.
Whoa, that is some pretty heavy speculating, buddy. Those thoughts are just wow. How was I harassing anybody? I mean, I guess you can understand with the Harley TBS shit, but as far as I'm concerned, I never went out of my way to make his life shit. I just made videos on him.
This is like working in a primary school. To harass someone would be to subject to aggressive pressure or intimidation, or make repeated small-scale attacks on an enemy, which sounds a lot like what you've done in your videos. Trans creators, Harley TBS, even communist creep, I would say, get lumped together under this umbrella because of how you've gone about making such remarks with little regard for the outcome, which means you must be oblivious to the amount at which this has built up.
Bro, oh my god, he's trying to make these people look like the victim when they're not. Apparently to him, harassing people is making multiple videos on a subject. So why are you harassing Creepshow Art, Harley? Why did you harass Creepshow Art back then in 2021?
Just because Moomin didn't give them crippling anxiety or something doesn't mean he didn't harass them with each upload that came from his leech of a channel.
You are the same thing. You are no different. Please stop trying to talk big shit. And also, I forgot to mention this, but he blatantly states out that everything I've said about Harley is just blatantly untrue.
You can clearly see that a bad thing needed to be done in the first place to achieve such an outcome. Otherwise, the Harley TBS point just seems like Moomin foaming at the mouth because he didn't get a full video response and just a tweet poking fun at him instead, because a majority of the things which were spoken about just aren't true and can be attested to by others. Maybe if you made valid content, then you'd get the recognition deserved instead of the cesspit you're playing.
Keywords, a majority of the things you said weren't true. Yeah, dude, it's not like I showed literal examples and other stuff to back up my points, but it's clear that you want to ignore that. This is the part part where Skullman lies out of his fucking teeth. I never plotted a raid and my server never attempted to raid Harley's Discord, so I don't understand where the fuck you got this. Oh wait.
Lo and behold, Artie explains that it was Moomin's Discord server.
Once again, no, I never plotted a raid against Harley TBS's Discord server. Artie was just a special needs Harley TBS stud and he lied about me for no reason. The screenshots Skullman shows are just out of context and really, they don't matter. All it was just a bunch of out of context screenshots used to defame my name and say, oh, I did all of this stuff to Harley TBS.
Where is the evidence then?
This is my proof. I'm done arguing over this now.